Marking and cutting of fabric for nightie. As we have already constructed the pattern for a nightie, we will now see how to mark and cut the pattern on fabric. At the end of the session, you will be able to mark the bodice of nightie on fabric, mark the sleeves for the nightie, mark the skirt piece for nightie, cut fabric along the drafted lines. Let's first familiarize with the tools and materials required for marking and cutting the pattern on fabric for a nightie. They are fabric for nightie, pattern square, French curve, tailor's chalk, measuring tape, and shears. Now let's see how to fold fabric for making a pleated nightie. First, fold the fabric lengthwise so that both the selvage edges meet. This is the width of the fabric and this is the length of the fabric, which is also the selvage edge. The length of the garment comes along the length of the fabric and the width of the garment is marked along the width of the fabric. Now fold the fabric widthwise as per the required length as shown here. After folding, we get 4 layers of fabric. Here we get 2 folds. This is where we mark the front and back neck. This is also a fold. Here we mark the shoulder portion. First, we will mark the bodice piece on the folded fabric. Let's now see how to do it. We will change the view of the bodice pattern that we constructed for the convenience of drafting on fabric. This is point 0. From point 0, we will mark the total bodice length, which is 13 inches. This will be point 1. Again from point 0, measure 7.5 inches and make a mark. This will be point 2. From point 2, measure 13 inches and make a mark. This is point 3. From point 1, measure till point 3. It should be 7.5 inches. Join points 2, 3 and 1, 3. Again from point 0, measure 3.5 inches and make a mark. This is point 4. From point 2, mark ½ inch downwards for the shoulder slope and join points 4, 5. From point 0, measure 3 inches for the back neck. This is point 6 and measure 6 inches for the front neck. This is point 7. Shape the back neck. Here we are giving a simple design for the front neck. Now from point 3, measure 3 inches up and make a mark. This is point 8. Shape points 1 and 8. Thus we have finished marking the bodice piece for the pleated nightie. Next, we will mark the sleeve for the nightie in the remaining width of fabric. For that, first we will mark the sleeve length. From point 0, measure 6 inches and make a mark. This is point 1. Next, we will mark the sleeve width. Starting from point 0, measure 13 inches and make a mark. This is point 2. From point 2, measure 6 inches and make a mark. This is point 3. Join 0, 2, 2, 3 and 1, 3. Now from point 2, measure 3.5 inches and make a mark. This is point 4. Join points 0, 4. Now from point 3, measure 1.5 inches and make a mark. This is point 5. Join points 4 and 5. shape the front and back armhole. This is the front armhole and this is the back armhole. Thus we have completed marking the sleeves for the nightie. Now we will mark the skirt piece for the nightie. We will choose this point 1 of the bodice as point 9 of the skirt piece. This makes it easier while cutting. From point 9, measure 3 inches down and make a mark. This is point 13. Again from point 9 we need 17 3/4 inches for the width of the skirt piece. But as you can see here, we have more fabric. So we will use this entire width for pleating so that the fabric is not wasted. Now from point 11 measure 3 inches and make a mark. This is point 14. Again from point 11 measure 3 inches down and make a mark. This is point 15. Now shape 14 and 15. Now join and shape points 13 and 14. From point 9, measure the skirt length as 47 inches and make a mark. This is point 10. Thus we have finished marking the skirt piece for the nightie. First, we will cut the bodice piece. Be careful while cutting the front and back neck. Make a small notch at the bottom center of the bodice. Next, we will cut out the sleeve. Make a small notch at the center of the fold. Finally, we will cut the skirt part. Make a small notch at the top of the center fold. Thus we have finished cutting the bodice, sleeves and skirt piece for a nightie. In this session, we have marked and cut fabric for a pleated nightie. Before we conclude, let's take a look at the key steps involved in marking and cutting the pattern of a pleated nightie on fabric. They are: Step 1. Mark the bodice on the fabric as per the drafting instructions. Step 2. Mark the sleeve for the nightie on the fabric. Step 3. Mark the skirt piece of the nightie on fabric. Step 4. Cut along the drafted lines. With that, we've come to the end of this session.